This episode is brought to you by Broadhead Decals. From door wraps and roof signs, window stickers and banners, let Broadhead Decals take care of all your vinyl needs with only quality products used.
Justin's graphic design abilities will get you everything you could ever want. With super fast shipping, their turnaround time is second to none. So let Broadhead Decals take you to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. Derek, where were you at this weekend?
Troy Moe, Lincoln County Fair. First trip over, 20,000 people. Pretty good show. DLS Promotions.
Looked like there was a hell of a crowd.
Oh my God.
Hey, before we get too deep into this, we've got Mr. Deano Fisher.
What's up, dickhead?
Not much.
So if you all hear another voice, that's who that is.
Michael Zur, Cody Workmeister, their whole crew. They've changed that Derby quite a bit. Not near as lenient of tech as it used to be in the past. A little bit different rule set.
But fair.
Fair shit. Yeah, very fair. I got there pretty early. Watched a lot of the tech. Every big car I watched got drilled.
They must have good drill bits.
That they did.
Because we've been there.
Yep, front. They drilled in the front while there were couple guys on the ass of it, a couple guys on the front of it, under it, in it, on top of it.
They have a lift?
No. Did everything on the dirt.
We used to do that.
Zer said something about maybe Hard Nosed Derby Podcast sponsoring a lift, and I said, well, why don't you guys sponsor flights?
There you go.
And then we'll consider that. Cody didn't like that idea at all.
That seems fair as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, let's start in on it. How many cars was there?
45 or so.
And 13
Street
mowers?
Yep. Like street stocks, hobos. Well, hobos are stock cars or whatever. Vans and compacts. Compacts was that light weld. Wasn't a mod car, but wasn't a hobo. They gave him a little bit more, let him weld a little bit, gave him a little bit more bumper bracket, I think. Street stocks was 14-inch bumper bracket.
So basic street stocks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh. Well, one of our big supporters was running there.
That he was. Mr. Dale Colbert.
You want to go ahead and clear up the Casey thing before we get too deep into this?
Casey did not want to fight a grown-ass man. I thought she was going to kick me in the genitalia when I got there, so...
you didn't have to worry about that?
I was covered up. I was.
So,
but she blamed you for saying, no, you're fucked.
Fair enough.
But we love you too, Casey. We didn't mean anything by it. You just get a little wound up at times. Sometimes understandable.
See, I didn't say shit that time. I didn't say nothing.
I didn't. I didn't say she was going to fight dudes. I just said she gets a little wound up.
I figured she was over there kicking the side of Dale's car, like where my head was and shit.
I don't know if it was a gift from God or what, but our faces are still there.
Really?
Yes.
Hell, last year they tried to take his whole fucking door off.
Yeah, well, about 6 inches from little walking in my hand is where it stopped. So they kind of missed that part.
You videoed that one.
Yes.
So if anybody wants to go back and check that shit out.
Check it all out. Check it all out. I even videoed the mowers.
Yeah.
And thank you, Zach Anderson, again, for giving me the earphones so I could have a hot
Are you talking about that dude from Nebraska?
That one dude from Nebraska? Yeah.
He's going to kick my ass. I told you about that. He was like, this son of a bitch didn't give me any credit. I'm like, dude, I was building a Mopar for whiskey. I didn't know who didn't like you. I can't give that shit out.
Yep.
I was like, I gave you the best shout out that I could at the time. Here it is, motherfucker.
Street stocks was the last class of the night. A face that I haven't seen for a while, Mr. Tyler Baker.
Yeah. He's run a couple times.
Well, his boy,
right?
I'm not sure.
I think he was. I think he was at Warrenton.
Little man bought Lane Baker's setup from Salisbury. Well, Jax needed it out of there, so why not just have Dad junk it?
There you go.
So he can take it out and put it in a stock car, for youth.
Right.
I think he was a little nervy about it. He was pretty nervous. Kind of shitting peach seeds. He was afraid Dad was going to hurt everything.
Well, we know Tyler. He would have fixed it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
Or Jax would kick his ass.
That's right. It came down to Kirk Howard and Joe Didden, best friends. The right way.
They finished it up?
They fucking finished their boy. Don't think they didn't.
Well, I try to watch it, but you know how I am with watching shit on my phone. Like, if it's not a 20-second TikTok, I'm out. Or Pornhub, whatever.
But give it up to them. They didn't hold anything back on each other. One was so hot and so hot. It was. It didn't even sound the same.
Looked like a compact out there?
Kind of, except for the limp mode action. Okay. Both of them, headers torched.
That's what I'm talking
glowing,
about.
both of them. They did it upright. It came down to, in the stock class, it came down to Dale Colbert.
Surprise.
Yes. Caden Justice, first time driving. And Chase Colbert.
Where do you go from there? Whenever it's your first show that you run in, and you get second.
And pull an $1,800 Mad Dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to fucking top that.
Correct. But derbying runs in the family. It's not like it's going to be...
before we hit the go button, who were you talking about? Who'd you say you seen in a car again? That we hadn't talked about since Blizzard Bash days.
Shane?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Shane Justice came out of retirement after 8 years.
Dude, like I said, we haven't said that name in forever.
Correct. Yeah. Since...
What was he in?
Metric.
GM. Mm-hmm. Really? Did he drive it like Shane drives?
Mm-hmm.
So it's jump? Mm-mm. Really?
No, it's not jump. He just got put in a shitty spot right in the corner, and there was a couple cars that piled up right into him, and he was hung. I'm going to promise you he was going for the Mad Dog. I think he tried to put Blake Lubrick in my lap. But that's the thing, man. $1,800. And they drove like
I told you, man, I like it. It sets the fucking pace. Like, you get those big money Mad Dogs out there, and you got the guys that like to drive, that they're not going to go for that Mad Dog. Throw an $1,800 Mad Dog out there. They'll still drive like they drive, but the pace will be set because the other guys don't give a fuck who they hit. They don't care if you're out there trying to wheel that car. They're going one end to the other. Mm-hmm. And you ever done any shit like that?
No, not at all.
Like whenever you broke everything of Micah's Shelvina?
That was just a one-time deal. Got lucky.
They hit, and I seen Micah's shit smoking from places I hadn't seen smoke come from.
I didn't know they could smoke from there.
Whenever he hit him, and it broke everything.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool.
It made for good entertainment.
Yes, it did. But these guys, I talked to Cody, I talked to Zer both.
Were they as welcoming as all the other promoters?
Yes, busy as shit.
Well, yeah.
And Zer apologized. We didn't get to talk as much as he would like. And I said, dude, there's a time for that. It was
like whenever we get him on this bitch?
That's right. It was the biggest track they've ever had there.
That track's usually a pretty good size.
I'm going to guess 150 by 300.
So Paris. Well, no, Shelbina.
Yeah. But, down in the hole. So,
right.
And big.
I still don't know how I feel about that because they're still running up against concrete, right?
Oh, fucking A. There ain't no dirt in front of it.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of concrete.
Yeah.
It's harder for them to climb.
If you build your fucking track right, you don't have to worry about that. Because how many did we have go over the dirt at Paris after I finally figured out what I was doing?
Oh, yeah. But I don't know if they get to build.
Right.
I think that's 3 sides are there all year round.
Right.
They never move those.
But, well, you don't, like, run. But whenever you get hit up against concrete, that shit hurts.
I almost
At
wore
least
it.
dirt will, like...
There's cushion to dirt. Now, I don't give a shit if your wall is 4 foot wide. There's still some cushion. There's still
You're
some
fucking
give.
ain't right. Dirt gives.
Yeah.
Not a blizzard bash wall. That shit's like concrete.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, I could see that. But they spend days
Yeah.
doing that. Not 2 days up, 1 day down.
Yeah. But the show itself, the stock show, like I said, Chase broke right front off a little early. Then he ended up losing steering. Dale was still trying. He noticed he didn't have steering, and he would get it over so Chase could get a hit.
Right.
And try to crab walk it, work it over, and he run out of time. So it came down to Mr. Caden Justice and Dale Colbert. And I really figured that Dale was going to give him a driving lesson. Dale was driving. Don't think he wasn't. Caden was driving, but he was overdriving.
Was Dale trying to wait for him to fuck up?
Yes, he was pushing him to fuck up.
But you said that it was difficult.
He held, yeah. And finally,
So is that a name we need to start watching for?
I'd pay attention. I would pay attention. He was in like a Roadmaster sedan. Dale was in.
Man, you're seeing fucking metric GMs come out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
Dino and I were talking about that earlier.
They used to be cheap.
Well,
used to be.
Like I
Still
said,
are, compared to a Vic.
yeah, I mean, in Michigan or up north, not just Michigan, Minnesota, whatever, they're not giving $1,000
Yeah.
for metric GMs. Because I'm still torn on what to take to Bristol. Because I've got a Caddy.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an 03.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got an R body. I think I'm just going to take a Lumina.
There you go. Just knock suspension off them bitches.
That's it. I'm taking a
If you're
Lumina.
going to spend $1,000, might as well do it right.
Yeah, fuck all of that. Not happening.
Compacts, they got wild. The vans got
What's the? You
wild.
said their compacts are like a little more than hobo.
But not a mod car.
I got you, man. That's surprising with who.
With Zer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, have you actually like looked at his cradles for those?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
They're nice.
Fuck yes, they are.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me, and I'm not knocking anybody's shit out there. I'm just saying that every one of them looks fucking identical, almost down to the weld. Mm-hmm. You know, you'll see some variation where people start and stop on stuff. I've looked at like 4 or 5 different ones, and it looks like he starts the weld the exact same spot on every one of them. Stops. I mean,
And there's no variation between little car cradles to big car cradles.
fuck no, there's not.
Same way with his pedals.
No, yeah, I mean, they're.
He's a fabricating bitch.
You're fucking ain't right.
I mean, that's all.
Dude must like to weld.
Well, I think it's his job.
Yeah.
I think.
We were talking about this the other day. That I'm not. Like, I mean, I can weld. The shit'll hold. I don't want to sit in the shop for 3 fucking days welding on stuff.
My shit'll hold, but it looks like ass.
Well, mine don't even look horrible. I'm blind. That's part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll melt a fucking helmet down.
Don't look right at the weld without the helmet.
And that might have been what caused this.
Well, why is there 16 holes in your rear fucking quarter panel where you're welding it to the door?
Oh, dude. Fuck sheet metal. Fuck every bit of that. I hate that shit.
Call Jason Grismore. He likes doing that, welding doors.
Yuck.
Something ain't right with that motherfucker then.
That is correct.
Yeah, we can all agree on that.
But no, man, Troy, like I said, Troy was bang up. Great facility, great group.
So Dale had 2 boys running, right?
Yep. Little E-Dog.
Rocking the fuck out of that power wheel.
Yep. That, and I think we talked the other day on Sunday that he is so focused when he is out there. He's not like the rest of the kids.
Well, like, you know, they're out there bebopping around and like looking at their parents.
He's looking at his next fucking target and then where he's going to go from there. Whether he's going to hit him in reverse or he's going to blow the bumper off of it.
Dale knows that he better get all the running he wants to do out of his system because he's going to have 2 of them.
I'd say in about 6 years he is completely hosed. Because he did the bumper delete kit and the steering wheel delete kit. The second run, he held the steering wheel up and was like, Dad! There was no fixing it, you know. It will be fixed.
How'd the mowers go? I mean, I know that, you know, there's people, how the fuck are y'all talking about mowers? We've got guys that run mowers and listen to this shit.
The stock, I've told you, even in California when I watched them last year, for the first time, I enjoyed the stock mowers. But in that same token, I enjoy the stock cars. Mod mowers are like mod cars. They're dumpsters hitting each other. There was 2 mod mowers there. One weighed 1,800 and change. The other one weighed 2,200.
That's more than a fucking gut and go.
And one of them had a 60 horse built.
Also more than a fucking gut and go.
Dude, that's just retarded out of a lawnmower.
Yeah, and I mean they're spinning them bitches around. I do know 2 females. A female won the stock mower show, and then I think another one won the street stock light weld version.
We've said it before, and we do have a little bit of a female following. These guys better watch out.
Yes.
Hell, whenever we was out there in Utah. Roxy. Wow.
Yep.
I know Deano listens, but we went out there to Utah, and she was in that youth class out there cleaning the fucking track up. And then whenever it got down to 3 of them, they were running from her.
Mm-hmm. She was pushing them the fuck up.
Uh-huh.
And that they did. Yeah. Yeah, got themselves in a bad situation.
Then she was on top of the car flexing.
That's right. Every time. I'm waiting for a backflip.
And then we drug her up there and made her talk to us for a little bit.
Yep. And she has already qualified for the Youth Nationals. The very first show.
Does that surprise you even a little bit?
No, it don't.
Just like Cameron Wilson's niece.
Correct.
Like
April qualified.
We knew.
Yep.
I've got to get her some parts and shit sent out that way pretty quick. She's got a switch box coming.
Oh, does she?
Yep. And I told them to hit me up whenever she was ready and talk to Justin, and I would send her some door wraps.
Yep.
Because why not?
That's right.
You got to support the youth.
That's what it's about. Youth are the future of the sport.
Oh, yeah.
Got to.
Yeah, because if we can teach the youth not to be drama-filled little shitheads, that'll just trickle on.
The next generation will be very bright if that happens.
Yes. Yes. Because it's changing now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were in Troy. Did you see any of that fighting shit?
Nope. I didn't see anybody get cross in the tech line. Everything was very respectful and talkative, just like we're talking right now. No voices were raised at all.
Had a good show.
Yep.
Nobody jumped out trying to fight. None of that bullshit on the track.
Nope. Like I said, that stock show, when it was done, I never saw a group or a family of buddies and parents and grandparents and aunts, uncles, cousins, whatnot, watching him.
That's that raw emotion that I was talking about whenever we were out in at King of Ohio. You know, whenever
Brady
won. Mm-hmm. That was a complete family affair. the tears of joy, the happiness, the everything, and the other drivers,
Respect.
Rutherford, Markley, all of them got out and congratulating him. There was none of that pissed off, this, that.
Yep.
That's the shit that needs to be showcased. Instead of me making reels about people fighting on the track, I need to be posting that shit.
Do better, Steven.
We showcased that shit too.
Blake Lubrick in a van
You never know what that fucking dude's going to be driving.
from one end to the other in reverse until the checker flag was thrown. And it's not like there was bad drivers. I mean, Corey Brewster was there. Kurt Turpin was there. Yeah, he got them all.
What was Turpin in?
Van?
Really?
Yes, it was vans or SUVs. There was
Oh, I
only
gotcha.
one little SUV, maybe like a Equinox Terrain.
Well, because that
size.
was cool out there at Ohio watching them Explorers.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was fucking wild.
Yep. Yeah,
They were sending that shit. Them 4.0s fucking
they
screaming.
rip. Yep. But no, I mean it. Overall, it was a good show, and I'll definitely go back next year.
Did you get to talk to anybody else while you were there?
Dale,
Zach?
Micah,
I
he got
didn't-
in the van for the first time on Friday night
I was supposed to be there.
because Lewistown was just up the road on Friday as well.
And I was fucking spraying, like, right down the road. Seriously. Today, I sprayed across from the track. I shit you not, the fucking field across from the fairgrounds. Just pissed off the whole fucking time.
I'm like, hey, couldn't I have been there Saturday?
Well, because if I would have
Friday.
been there last Friday, I would have just parked the fucking sprayer, walked over, run my van real quick, jump back in the sprayer, finish the fucking field.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Garrett Baker pulled off another dub in that van.
That motherfucker. Somebody, you keep hearing chatter about it, but they can't stop him. And they're trying.
Yeah. Yep. He got the win. Micah got second.
Which
think-
is, I've been giving Micah so much shit. So much shit. I was like, fuck, that was your best finish, motherfucker. He's like, fuck you.
Wyatt Shores in third, I believe.
Was he bunny hopping his van across the track?
It didn't look like any video I saw he was bunny hopping. I think they fixed that issue from show behind.
That shit was funny.
Giving up to the wheeling ass Mr. Zach O'Neill
Dude,
in the hobo class.
we've talked about this shit before. The fucking dude can drive.
Yep.
Ridiculous fabricator. Like I said, Justin Meyer, 4U Fab, makes some killer fucking wheel setups and shit.
Yep.
I'm not
Lower
taking
cradles.
I'm not taking anything away from what he's building, but it's almost like that shit falls together for Zach. I mean, I've
He's
seen
narrowing wheels
Fuck.
and welding in wheels. They are like,
I watched him do some sheet metal repair on a wagon.
couldn't even tell it.
It looked fucking factory. I mean, and all the welds looked fucking amazing. I mean, dude,
Well-
he's just good.
Like I said, Zach was a welder by trade for a long time.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much second nature to him. But, ever since I met Zach, he run heavy built cars.
Yeah, mod
Cars,
Like-
lunatic type of
Yeah.
builds. And it's just like he has learned so much patience. So when he gets into these stock cars or these hobo cars,
That's
he
what-
doesn't overdrive the car.
That's what gets me. And we've talked about this with Junior Cardwell the same way. It does not matter what car they're in. Mm-hmm. They're going to be around at the end of it.
They can adjust to whatever car they're in.
John Mavis.
Yep.
The dude can get out of a mod car, crawl in a fucking stock car, and then go jump in a minivan.
And then a truck
Yeah. Like,
in the same day.
that's when you know you're a fucking driver.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get that reputation, whenever they're running hard cars, the mod shit, even the top end of the street stock stuff, light weld and all that. everybody's like, well, their cars don't bend, so they can drive them how they want. Well, these guys are like, all right, fuck you. I'll get a hobo car.
Mm-hmm. Junk half the field and
Yeah.
go about their day. Or win it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people, and I might catch some shit for this, but there's true drivers
Uh-huh.
that, like John,
Uh-huh.
Zach, they can get in and drive anything, and they won't drive them the same. But then there's guys who run heavy built shit,
Colt Doyle.
and then then they'll drive that light build the exact same way.
Colt Doyle.
100%.
And he don't make no beef about it.
Oh fuck no!
He's the most stand-up guy you probably ever meet.
We were talking, I seen him over at the Maggie show whenever we went over looking at new equipment last year, and they were frying up fish and doing doing the Doyle thing. And he was like, and you're going to call me crazy. He's like, but I'm taking a hobo cart to P Hill too. And I was like, you're not supposed to be in one of those. I was like, that's not your class, buddy.
He was.
I got mad respect for that guy. When he knocked out Corey over there at Palmyra, he sent us both a message and saying, he was like, and he even come up and talk to us, but he was like, I didn't intentionally do that.
Oh yeah.
Just stand-up guy about the whole deal.
Yeah.
And he said, sorry about that and everything.
Well,
that means a lot to a
dude,
guy.
he drives hard, and very, very passionate about the sport. He sponsors stuff and gives to this and gives to that all the time as a silent. Hey, don't you ain't got to put me out there on front.
That's
street.
right.
But we know, we know.
Yeah, it's just like Gage Sumner.
Yes,
Gage will turn around and run Rapid City.
I heard that they
River
raffled
City.
off a passenger seat
Oh God.
for Gage. Is what I heard.
Oh God.
Now, I don't know how much truth to that there was. I think it was on Clutch Marl's Facebook or something.
At St. Jan?
Yeah, I think they raffled off a passenger seat. Let me see if I can find it.
Which he turns around and he took a van to St. Jan, his hometown show that he's not promoting anymore. Top Notch Promotions is in there now. So Gage shows up, takes the oldest little one to let her send it in the Power Wheels, and then he turns around and sends it in a van.
Yeah, so last weekend they raffled off riding passenger in my van and riding passenger with Gage Sumner. They raised $500 towards the van payouts. Yeah, fuck that.
Hope somebody who was
I'm
in that
out.
rider paid attention.
No, I ain't riding with Gage.
Dude, the first time I ever met Gage was at Bowling Green. He brought a mini car and a mod car. He won them both.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this fucking guy?
Well, we talked about it, what was that, a few weeks ago, whenever he was clearing the track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole track.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was people trying to get the fuck out of his way because he did not care.
No. That was at Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
That Southern Illinois showdown.
Yeah, because we were in Lima.
Yep. And he sent it
Fuck.
off the rip, boy.
Yeah, that's when everybody was giving him shit about that door shot. We talked about that, and it wasn't a fucking door shot, whatever.
Nope.
Dude drove into it. You're going to throw your door at me, I'm going to take it.
You can't hardly call it door shot anymore.
Not unless they're sitting
it's
still.
completely intentional. I mean,
The only time you ever see a driver get pissed off about a door shot is whenever they're losing.
100%. Yeah.
I know there's going to be people that are like, well, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. No, fuck you. You're losing. That's why you're bitching.
When we had Dustin on, they were not calling door shots unless they were absolutely blatant. Meaning, they were sitting still, they weren't moving.
And you half-tracked the motherfucker.
Yep. If you're moving,
That's all
you
you,
probably
buddy.
did it on purpose.
Well, no, I will. I'll take a
Yeah.
shot in that fucking door
Fuck
before
that
I will a
front
wheel.
wheel.
Yes,
Yep. I can steer out of a door shot.
any day.
If you want to bitch about it, build a heavier cage.
Fucking A-right. And I have never seen a promoter yet that has been like, oh, that's way too much driver protection over there.
Yeah.
They'll never They'll
Wrong.
never bitch about driver protection. Passenger side, questionable.
Yeah.
But the driver,
Yeah.
you can't ever be too safe.
No, and that's why we always had that rule: nothing over 6 inches of material for your cage in the stock class. I had a lot of guys show up with double 2S6, and they're like, "Hey, this is why." I was like, "Dude, you gotta explain shit. As long as it's not laying on the fucking floorboard,
Correct. Welded everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, but doubled up, and you've got your down tube welded to the bottom of it. I ain't bitching about that
Ain't
ever.
making that fucking car no harder. Ain't
Fuck
making that
no.
car no stronger.
Because that's why it scared the shit out of me. You'd watch people show up, and their fucking cage would be like right at the top of the door. I'm
Yes.
like, you don't like your hips.
Nope, you got about a foot of playroom to
Yeah, fuck that.
dislocate
I want-
everything.
I'd rather a bumper hit me in the fucking shoulder than I did my hip. Mm-hmm. Like, I run my shit as low as I can.
Yep.
I'd rather just add to my door bars and not have any of that.
Yes, 100%. Because I've got that 12-inch C channel flipped over that I run in a lot of my stock cars. And I've had a couple of promoters who are like, "Why are you? What's this?" And I'm like, "Fuck! I don't want somebody in here with me."
I don't want to wear a bumper.
No, and they bent my passenger one.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, if that would have been your fucking 6-inch that you wanted me to have," I was like, "They would have been at the fucking center bar."
Well, I've seen double up 2x6 get bent in passenger side.
100%, yeah. Well, hell, I've watched them shove cage out the other side of a fucking car.
Dash bar right out the pillar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, let's touch on the other derbies that were this weekend.
Ottawa,
Yeah.
King of the Ring. We had two. I watched them both.
I haven't got to watch all of King of the Ring yet.
I watched them all on Sunday morning. I want to say right now, speaking of John, Mr. 5X, heel up, sir.
Yes.
That was the most gangster shit I've ever seen.
Dude, that car was running 20 mile an hour
At
backwards,
least.
and he bailed out of that motherfucker. Did you see that?
I did not.
folded him like a lawn chair in the
It looked like
gate entrance.
it looked like somebody
Zach.
cleared the course for it,
Yep, him and Zach nosed on,
and it pushed the radiator back, cut the fucking lower radiator hose, and was blowing right through the firewall.
I seen on a story.
He's got 2nd-degree burns on his chest and legs.
stomach. I think he's still wearing that plastic shirt, shit, whatever it is that they
Well,
put you
I
in
sure
the
as
hospital.
fuck wouldn't want a cotton shirt stuck to that
No,
shit.
no.
That's never what you want in any derby.
Well, I sent him a message, saying, hey man,
Yeah.
hope you heal quick and all that stuff. But I think I seen somewhere he said that is the worst pain.
Yeah, the skin on his arm was actually falling off.
Yeah.
I mean, from about right here in the middle of his forearm to past his elbow, it's just. But I want to sit here and say this. I'm going to give it up to Zach Johnson. Zach was one of the first ones there. He unbuckled that fast, got out, and ran to John.
Well, and again, we need more of that shit in the sport.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mr. David Diemel punched his ticket to Gold Rush Wheelman. Josh Turner, 2nd. Zach Johnson, 3rd. John Mavis, 4th. Casey Carondo with the Mad Dog.
John, you could tell by his snaps, he was disappointed. He was like, this car was still ready to party.
It was.
Because it still looks fucking money.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll live to see another day. Give it up. They'd had mod 2-man teams. I'm gonna give it up to extra medium shirt himself, Cordell.
Cordell.
Pulled the win out there for his team. I don't know what happened on Saturday with it. I couldn't tell. So what they did is they ran teams on Friday because they didn't have as many mod teams as they wanted to sign up. So Saturday was an individual show. Jace Johnson won that. Uncle Jimmy's boy. He got him a win in Dad's ride. Very well deserved. Hard driving. It was normal UD, wide open, just crazy. In the street stocks, they did tell them they needed to pick it up. They said, you're running for way too much money to be driving like this. So once they went out and got their warning, it was go time. That just, just talk about the top 4 in the street stock. They're going to be on the track with the other baddest dudes who've already qualified for Gold Rush, for the Wheelman Show.
Dude, there's so many people pulling double duty on all those shows that are stacked up at the end of the year.
Some triple duty.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid crazy. But
the fact
to do it
of just the time building the fucking cars.
Oh, God.
Because all those are fresh car only shows.
Mm-hmm.
The problem will be getting them put back together.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you're gonna be a wore out motherfucker.
Well, either that or you got a badass pit crew with you.
I'm gonna have to have.
They're gonna be fucking wore out too. You'll be pulling second string out for that shit.
B squad. Don't weld. That's how shit gets disqualified. You don't touch that welder.
And then we had some local guys go to Memphis and get to stay on the trailer.
Yeah, they never even got off the trailer.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't even.
Yep.
We'll touch back on that here in a minute.
Yep. And then King of the Ring, CDDA, Lynn, Kansas. Killer show, 2-man bone stock.
That was turned to the fucking moon.
What is so cool how they do it, because they take however many 20 teams and they put them on the track at once. As soon as it's down to half the cars, they stop the show. You get 15, 20 minutes to fix whatever you've got as long as you're still in. And then you start that second half just like a football game. You go in for halftime, fix your shit, come back out. So that right there because I think Bubbles, they fixed Bubbles' car. She made it through to the second half. Her teammate, I think they had it all fixed, did what they needed to do, went to start it, and noticed the starter was busted off of it.
Fuck.
So how many good sets of eyes can you get on something to make sure you get everything? Because you don't want to let your teammate down. Because your teammate is the one who got you to that spot, But then just shit, absolute luck can happen and just take you right out.
Well, we've beat that dead horse on the luck deal. Everybody knows how all that works.
Dials and Mr. Dan Mars, I think they pulled off a second or third, something like that. I think Nate Passick's team ended up pulling the win out. And
did Dan drive like Dan?
Dan drove like Dan.
I love watching that dude drive.
Dan drove like Dan.
Because you can talk to him before any derby that he's running. He's like, I don't give a fuck about winning this thing.
Yeah.
And his exact words are always, I just want to make sure that whoever everybody thinks is going to win doesn't.
Yep. And yeah, they got their heat. They got pulled for Mad Dog, or the beginning of the feature they got pulled for Mad Dog right off the rip. So they got to drive their cars out, start working on them, and then
fuck with a platform like that. That's incentive right there.
And they did it. Don't think they didn't do it. Right off from the rip, they were parked right next to each other. They threw the green flag, and they just wide open the group that was behind them. And they both went forward to a corner, and both of them smoked somebody, and then they put it around and put it in reverse and did the same thing. They did that about 4 times. It was like, shut her down, boys. Go on in there.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
And then
which honestly, it gives people that suck, like myself, a better opportunity to move on.
Yeah, you can just go out there and go batshit if you want.
Uh-huh.
Your shit might be a little bit hurt, but it could be hurt if you're not pushing the issue too.
Well, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because I'll end up taking some stupid fucking shot somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Trying to keep your nose clean and somebody just
That's what happens every time I try to drive sensible. I'm better off being a fucking pinball.
Well, maybe it's time to be the pinball.
That's the most fun.
Well, I've already told my teammate for Bristol, I was like, don't be looking for me. I said, look out for me. Because...
Friendly fire! Oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah, everybody's like, you're going to drag a car all the way to Tennessee to fucking junk it in the heat. I was like, it is what it is.
Possibility. We made a post this past weekend just asking drivers and builders' opinions on what they think the best way a promoter should handle tech. Whether it's a full cut list, what you're willing to cut. No cut list, you're overbuilt, you're not going to cut it, you don't get a chance to fix it. Or what like Toast does at River City, you get X amount.
Unlimited.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he tells you way ahead of time, this is how many you get.
If it's over
If that infraction's over that, you're not cutting, you are loading. There was a mixed bag.
There is, and my opinion on the whole deal is you've got to have a cut list. Just because of the different ways that everybody interprets rules.
Mm-hmm.
A big deal with me, though, and we focused on that a lot whenever we were putting on shows, if it was blatant fucking cheating, you're done. Like, if you had something shoved in the fucking frame rail, you're out. It's over. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
If something was capped, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye. I'm not going to penalize somebody for being creative. One example of that, the nuts for your all thread. We've seen it.
King of Ohio.
Yes.
They didn't tell.
The
rules didn't say where those nuts had to be.
So they had guys welding them to the frame rails. I like that.
Between rear bumper brackets and humps.
Yep. I like that. That is. Let's think it outside the box.
Yeah, it's hard to penalize a guy who gets creative.
Right.
When it's not an actual, in my opinion, a rule infraction.
But if you're fucking 6 inches short on a frame, like, no,
that's a rule
fuck
infraction.
You. Out of here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And another thing that drives me fucking insane is after a car has been sticked and the promoter will come back or a tech will come back and be like, oh, hey, I missed this. You need to fix this. Sorry. We never did that shit.
What's Steven say? You can get on the back side?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll keep this bitch loaded and I'll take it to the house.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way that shit works. Like, people are going to fuck up. You're going to miss stuff. But after you've already sticked that car, told them they're running, you can't go change that. I did it one time. I went back to a guy's pit stall and was like, hey, I missed this. And after I did that, I never did it again because I was like, I need to step my fucking game up. It wasn't your fault that I missed something.
Mm-hmm. It was your fault you did it.
Right.
But it wasn't your fault I didn't see it.
Right.
There's that difference.
And then you get into the blended rules things. That's why you can't not have a cut list. Because everybody wants cars. You know, you want cars to show up. And if your rules are close, I'll use Austin's show and my show as an example. This isn't an actual situation, but, you know, say there was nothing in his rules about overlap on plates. And mine strictly said there has to be an inch gap between plates. I'm not going to disqualify this guy that come from Austin's show to run my show whenever that's the only issue that he's got. You know, give him plenty of time. Go back there. Give me a gap. You can weld it back, whatever you need to do. But that's not a loadable infraction to me.
No. No, not at all.
But, I mean, straight up blatant fucking cheating is loadable, like, in my opinion. And I think that the guys like, well, Memphis, let's use that for an example.
Okay.
You and I were talking. You said that.
They didn't even look at him. They just walked by him.
That's what I'm saying. Now, that's fucked up.
As he was walking by, he's like, nope, keep it on the trailer. Nope, keep it on the trailer. Nope, keep it on the trailer. Didn't look under it. Didn't look all the way around it. They just walked up one side. I'm going to say it. Grant Bowling went. He didn't like Grant's trunk because where Grant ran that,
Right.
you could weld your trunk solid. He said, your trunk's welded solid.
I'll cut
Grant
it.
said, I'll cut it. He's like, but your tank protector's touching the roof. He said, guess what?
I'll cut the top off that motherfucker.
Nope. Keep it on the trailer.
There's a line of willingness to work with someone and not. I think you should be able to work with someone to be able to cut something.
Well, if somebody's willing to
Make it
cut their
work.
fucking car in half,
Yeah.
Chance.
Cut the rails off of that bitch.
Chance Ogden, he got caught straight up capped. And he was like, how can I fix it? And they were like, well, cut the top off the frame.
So he did.
Okay.
Not everybody is that devoted. But Chance is that straight up dude
Oh, fuck,
who
dude.
says, okay, this
You
is
caught
what I
me.
got to do to
You caught me.
run. Well, fuck it. I'm running.
You caught me.
Yeah. I'm an hour from the house. We'll fix it all right now.
Yeah.
And he did.
But Dustin or Brian, let me pull this up because the dude is a fucking poet.
He's a poet, but the problem is Mr. Brian Wood is a straight up dude, 4 Triple D and demo, and he is a hell of a truck builder and a tech. So that is really because he knows how to look at it from both sides of the fence.
Yes.
He's not going to persecute you for going a little above and beyond.
No,
But
but he
he's
is
not going to
gonna
let you get away with it either.
No, but he's going to be very stern with your options.
Yep. And not raise his voice.
No, not at all.
He's like, here's what you're going to do. You've got both here. You can't have both. Which one would you like to cut off?
Because here's how he put it. He said, however, infractions on a cut list that can be fixed should reflect differences in rule interpretation or simple oversight areas that may not be within the rules, but do not constitute a competitive advantage significant enough to be called blatant cheating. So he's saying that if it's something so minute that it's not going to change the outcome of the Derby, that is worthy of the cut list. Mm-hmm. But if it is something that is blatant cheating that it says you cannot do in the rules, put them on the trailer. Mm-hmm. And I agree 100% with that.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of guys were saying, on a lighter build, such as like a hobo car or
Right.
something like that, you shouldn't get a chance to cut. But in the same token, we got 3 dudes right here who can read rules. Well, Dino sometimes. Sometimes he
I don't know
reads
how to
3
read.
sets for the same show.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
But you can look at something a little bit different, looking for gray areas. You the same way. Mm-hmm. And me, the complete opposite.
Yes.
You might find some shit in that where, hey, hold on. This is what I can do to an A-arm strap.
Well, I did just that.
Right. Well, and and it's the same deal with me, with the whole Mopar situation. There are not rule sets out there that focus on what you can and can't do to a Mopar. Mm-hmm. Run into this a lot. Because if they allow, a 2x4 or 2x6 bumper or a A-arm strap, that motherfucker's barely going to touch my A-arm because I don't need it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to run it where I need it to go. But on the other end of that, you see people that get creative with that shit and they'll run it through a frame, or something like that. Well, if it doesn't say it in the rules, you can't do it. I mean,
correct.
Like, how do you penalize that guy for doing what he did?
There's only been one time that I've been told to go add to my A-arm strap. And that blew my mind.
To add?
Yes. Rob Baker told me to go add to my A-arm strap.
Holy shit.
I got loaded one time for being underbuilt.
Yes, you have.
At a fucking stock class.
That was to the rules.
It was copy and pasted from my rules. It was built to my fucking rules. He's like, oh, this isn't safe. I'm like, what? But it's built to the rules. He's like, oh, you can't run that. I was like, okay. Fair enough.
I'll go drink beer. Yeah, so, I mean, go on to the post. I mean, I think...
Yeah, get on there. We want to hear some more
try to
about
pin
that.
it, or however the...
Yeah, I'm going to try to pin it to the top. I don't know. I'll figure that out.
There's a shitload of comments right now. And what I like about it is they're actually just talking. They're not...
Oh, yeah,
there's no butt hurtness.
No.
No,
and there's promoters, drivers, and fans all in the same on there.
At the end of the day, everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants to see a derby.
Yes.
they want to see a show.
And we've talked about this so much, and we talked about it with Dustin and Brian. Consistency. Whether you're bad consistent or good consistent, consistency is a start.
That's what gets you cars.
Well, and Dustin, he was like, what is consistency? And to me, like what I said, is consistency to me is all the cars are teched the exact same way. Mm-hmm. Whether you're letting stuff go or whether you're making them cut, it needs to be the same across the board.
And do not tech the driver, tech the cars.
That's where a lot of people do. I run into it. I fucking did it. And at the Palmyra team show, whenever I loaded Rick Hammond.
At that point in time, you didn't know who you were loading.
I did not. And it was because there was a piece of material added behind the plate to fill a gap. And now that we've talked to everybody, they didn't even weld that plate on there. Mm-hmm. It was somebody helping them that welded the plate on there. He seen a gap. He put a bolt in it and filled it. Still can't do that. Jerry hits me on the headset, says, hey, this is what I found. Do you want to let them run or do you want to load them? And I said, who is it? And he said, it doesn't matter who it is. He said, I need an answer. I said, load them. I didn't even realize I was doing it. Well, so basic human error has to be a factor in all that shit too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of your stuff comes from respect. Your driver has to have respect for the promoter, and the promoter and techs have to have respect 100%. For the driver. You don't have that, you don't have a show.
Because I can tell you right now, I don't want to sound biased here. Your attitude toward me was the dependency on how well I was going to work with you.
That's that respect factor.
And whenever I say work with you, whether I was going to let you fix this shit or you were going to put it on the fucking trailer.
Because a lot of dudes will come up there just being a complete fucking dickhead. So
why would you want to start that?
Right off the bat.
Why would you want to start like that? Like, I had a guy come up there, he's like, well, you let that fucking car in, mine's going in too. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yep.
And he told me that, this and this was done to that car. And I was like, you know what? Before we even look at your fucking car, I was like, you take me over to that car and you show me what you're talking about. Show me.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Well, just happened to know the guy that was in the car that he was talking about. And I said, hey, bring that fucking car back over here. And he brought it over there. I said, point it out. And he couldn't. Mm-hmm. And that's whenever I was like, why the fuck do you want to start this interaction out that direction?
Yeah.
Because we had the guy at Shelbina. It wasn't even the fucking driver that was arguing with me. It was his brother or some shit.
That's why now any show is drivers only. in the tech area.
Yeah,
It
because
should
as soon as we got rid of his brother or whatever,
It was all kosher.
fuck, the dude was. I was like, man, what I'm trying to tell you is the fix on this will be. It'll take you 10 fucking minutes, man, to get this the way that we want it, so that you can run this show. And his brother was up there just motherfucking me and telling me how stupid it was, and they run it at the last show, and I'm like, well, maybe we missed it at the last show, and I apologize for that. But we caught it this time.
And that's always that part that kills me is I ran in at last show. You didn't hurt it at all last show? Well, yeah.
Then it ain't
Okay,
the same.
so what else did you add to this motherfucker from 2 weeks ago?
Go ahead with the Austin Schaefer deal. This is where I was talking about promoters and techs working with people on a county fair level.
Because Austin came to Shelbina
Used up.
used up bad.
It was that speckled white car that he had.
Seams blowed out of the front rails. He welded the seams. Jerry, looking at it, says, Austin, I see what you did. I see why you did it. But, Jerry would always give you that, but you went a little too far.
Oh.
I just need you to take this part off right here. We'll be golden. He was just trying to get one last run out of it. I mean, and Austin said, no problem, Jerry.
He said, that's fine. He said, yes, I did go ahead and run down that seam.
Yeah.
And Jerry's like, well, this is an easy fix. And there was nothing, like nobody got cross or anything. Because all bullshit aside, I know there was people that didn't like Jerry and didn't like him as my head tech and all that shit. But the fucking dude would usually give you a pretty good out.
And he knows his shit. He could see what you did before he ever thought about doing it.
And knows why you did it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Was Jerry a little nitpicky at times? There was. There was situations that me and him didn't agree, but I backed him every fucking time, because without that promoter tech trust or that solid relationship like that, you've got nothing. Because the first time that he said something that I didn't like and I overrule him, well, that takes all of
His accountability away.
your fucking A right. It does.
And then he might as well not even be there at that point.
100%.
You've
And
seen
that's
that a lot lately.
Because you would see where Jerry would make people cut or this or that, or Tony would find something and go to Jerry, and because every decision on the repair of a car went through Jerry on the big cars. That's just how we did it. He was the head tech. That's how it worked. Well, then you would have the people that would come over to me and they're like, "Hey, he's making me do this." I was like, "Well, then you better fucking do it, because I'm not gonna go tell him that he's wrong. Like, not happening."
Nope.
well, he's a hell of a builder for one.
Yes.
So and he knows what you're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's not dumb. Been doing it for years.
What I loved and what cracked me up, because I would sit back and watch him. We'd have a car on the lift, and he'd be walking around there, and he would have already seen what he didn't like, but he'd keep rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd come back, because they were like, "Oh fuck, we got it past him," and he'd be like, "All right, right here is where we're gonna start."
I bet
they're
you lit
like-
a cigarette in that time.
And they're like, "Fuck." And he's like, "I see what you're doing there." And they're like, "Well, it's because," he's like, "No, that's not why you did that." He's like, "This is exactly
This is
why
a
you
fresh
did it."
car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a fresh car. You're not, no, you can't get that shit past.
And one thing that I wish all these promoters would get on the same fucking page with, because I know a lot of people do it. Like, there is a shitload of promoters out there that are already on it, and it seems very simple. No paint on the fucking frames.
Word.
Yes, and if you paint your frame, they should make you torch it off or something.
I did.
And Jerry was great about that.
Well,
Buff and wheel, wire wheel, I don't give
I
two
don't give a
shits how
fuck.
you get it off. Get it off now.
Because that one guy was like, "Well, it's just overspray from the fender." And we're like, "Well, you should have put fucking plastic over it, or, cardboard or whatever." Like, we didn't paint your fucking frame.
No.
I mean, because we were at a show here the other day, and I've never seen so many murdered out frames in my fucking life.
Coal black.
They don't come from the factory like that.
Well, especially after you put 6 plates on the motherfuckers.
Yeah, and they're still black.
How's that work?
Plates don't weld themselves on.
Those are factory.
No. But
My
no,
buddy built this car.
I went in. I don't know. There were some guys in the shop about midnight.
I don't know
what they did.
After I walked out of the shop.
Yeah,
I don't give a
ain't got
fuck.
clue.
Robbie at King of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking awesome watching him tag. You probably don't know Robbie, do you?
How do you know it?
He's Simple Solutions. He is.
Well, I met him at Blizzard Bash, I think. Pretty cool guy.
He's the fucking. He is laid back and smart as a motherfucker.
Yep.
That dude was so calm, cool, and collected the whole time we were there. And this is where
Even when that one drunk dude was up his ass on the wall, Robbie was like, dude, would you calm down?
Yeah.
I mean, just like that.
Yes.
Didn't yell nothing. Would you just calm down for a
Because
minute?
fuck, it was making me mad.
Yeah.
I want to touch on something here about him, now you said that. I seen on Facebook a while back, and this is something that I just believe in, I guess. If someone's building something and offering it to the public, don't go and take. Someone had a post on there looking like 3 different times looking for one of his belts and one of this and one of that. And I seen him get on there, and you could tell he was a little aggravated, but he was like, "It's on my website. It's on my website cheaper than you can buy it at any parts store because I bought it in bulk to offer it to you
At this price.
So people that are out there building parts, they're not doing it just because. They're not doing it for their health.
Well, they're not doing it to get rich. Because if you show me one parts guy that is making a fuckload of money off of
And
one
that is
product,
their only job?
yeah.
So support them guys that are supporting the sport.
Yes.
Because I promise you, because I hear it all the time talking about NLR. Talking shit.
Yes.
And I'm like, guys, do you realize what he's doing to make the prices where they're at? Like, go build them fucking wheels and shit yourself. You tell me the man hours that you end up in it, and then the parts and fucking material.
Buy the laser tables.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, come on.
And then they don't know.
Because
He's
I
a
heard
fucking
somebody,
cattle farmer.
Yeah, well, I heard somebody bitching about Justin and his parts. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Bitching. I heard somebody bitching about his cradle, and I'm like, go build one.
Go build one out of T1 steel.
Yeah.
Just go buy the steel.
Yes.
Don't even cut it. Just go buy
Because you can't buy the perfect amount of steel to build one of those. You got to buy a whole fucking sheet.
And then guess what? You don't have a table to cut it out. So go pay someone to cut it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then spend your time welding it.
Yes.
And I bet you're just as much, if not more money into it.
Yep.
Because there are people that build their own parts, and I commend them. Austin Schaefer and them. Dude, they are some parts building motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it so long.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, at Shelbina, I was talking to Austin. You know, he finally got the dub.
Mm-hmm.
That was 4 generations of Schaefer that has won on that track.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to bitch at anybody about building their own parts, but don't bitch about somebody else building parts for the sport, because you've got guys. Well, I'll use Huff as an example. First time we got him on here, he was still using a fucking hoist and shit and
Flipping cars over on the side
yeah.
in a little one-bay shop.
Yes. Well, you know how hard it would be to build a fucking lower cradle with a torch?
It would suck.
I wouldn't want to try it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's for the guys like him and myself. Fuck, I don't have all the time in the world.
No.
I don't have 8 hours to go try to build, figure out everything it takes to build that shit.
But I'll sure pay somebody that does have the time to do it.
You're fucking A-right. And I will try to support anybody that is mass producing derby parts, because all bullshit aside, everybody's wanting this sport to go mainstream. That's what the fuck it takes.
You're just hurting the sport by not supporting the guys that are building the parts. All it's doing is running them down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I understand that there are people that they run a couple times and they decide to get out. You can buy that used pedal setup.
Yeah.
That's fine. because it'll still say whoever on it, SMS or ZER or NLR or whatever. But I'm glad you brought that up because that fucking drives me nuts.
You see it a lot.
Woo-saw, people. Just woo-saw.
Yeah. Well, and dude, people were trying to fuck around Postal Mopar so bad whenever they first started putting out pinion brakes and shit. Hey, what's the code off that? What's the number off that? You know, just fucking order it through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna be just as much money, if not money ahead.
Because I've seen people try to cobble that shit together.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't fucking work.
And then they're pissed.
It's just like anything.
Well, and that's what I liked about Postal Mopar is they were doing little variations to the part store part that would keep you from going down there and grabbing that motherfucker.
Because it wouldn't work.
Right.
You don't know how much they had to trim off of it. You don't know what the amount of shims and sizes that they put on it.
And you know how nice it is, like that pinion brake that I bought. I slapped that motherfucker on there and bolted that bitch up. It took me 15 fucking minutes.
And it worked.
Done deal.
Those guys spent the time figuring it out to produce it
Pay them for
you.
that.
Hey, well, speaking of time to figure it out, somebody has ventured out into the fuel cell world. Little
Correct.
Fisher built.
Yes, sir.
So what do you got going on, dude?
Oh, just some stainless tanks. I seen a demand for them. Got a lot of guys having multiple setups for these big shows. You know, guy doesn't want to have one or two fuel cells for 3 or 4 setups. So, figured if something that's needed, and trying to build the best fuel tank I can.
Well, we did talk about some of the variation that you did with your tanks compared to kind of what everybody's used to. One is the lid.
Yep.
The fuel cap. Usually it's that galvanized bullshit neck, and then, oh, fuck, I cross-threaded it. If I had too many beers.
That was exactly that was my first motherfucking thing.
Yes.
Because I bought that one that had just pipe thread, fucking galvanized, and it was cross-threaded, the motherfucker. I couldn't hardly get it off there.
Yep. Biggest fucking
So I ended up
scratch
getting a
handle ox you
fucking
can find.
bullshit boat plug,
Oh,
you know, to
yeah,
twist
boat
it.
plug.
My theory of it was, well, for one, you don't want a shitty fuel tank in a car because that's life or death right there. But a nice lid makes it so much easier to fill your tank, for one. And just the quality, you know, people like shiny.
Oh, yeah.
It's stainless. People like that. You know, trying to offer the most well-rounded tank, I guess.
Something, you did a little something inside of it.
Yep, it's internally braced, baffled, 2 inches from the top, 2 inches from the bottom. It's the real deal.
Well, I got to look at it. Like I told you, I mean, we've already talked about this once, but they're right.
Are you going to have multiple options for sizes, or are you just going to try to take it just a couple?
Well, I don't know. There's a demand for small tanks. There's a demand for big tanks. Depends on what you want to get into. But my theory was a 15-gallon tank, which mine are 17. Theory of that was 15-gallon. You can fill it without worrying about sloshing out of the rollover valve. But I am going to offer a 25-ish gallon. Probably be more like 27.
It'll be more of that methanol group.
Yeah, and that stuff will get you through, you know, county fairs. The bigger ones get you through big shows, no problem. Won't have to worry about running out of fuel.
That would suck.
We've seen that happen.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. Have you got your, you know, if you've got your mindset on your sizes, your look, is there any customization that, you know, you might be willing to do if somebody actually reached out? Because somebody said something sitting next to me, he likes that swirled look.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't myself personally. I don't really like that. I'd like them to be all just shiny and nice and polished.
Diamond and goat's ass shiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all that's not polished yet. And I probably won't polish them, but you know, a guy could sit at home and polish it pretty easy. It's all new stainless, so
Yeah.
304, polished real good.
They're fucking sharp. And I posted some pictures on Hard Nose, and next week we will have the ad out since we got the Peckerwood in studio. We can actually get the deets on that. He sent me he sent me 2 sentences.
So we get to wing the rest.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I want the tanks to sell themselves.
Good quality parts always sell themselves.
Well, there's going to be one in my car for Bristol. So
there's going to be another one in somebody else's car for Bristol as well.
I believe so.
I believe Teddy will have one in his car.
Yep.
They're fucking sharp.
Yep.
I'd like to get a few more out there.
Now we're just going to say it. Price range.
The 17s are about $550. I've got an option to add handles, which I'll probably just make that a standard option. But
Yeah.
I'll just start putting them on there. But $550, and that's not making any money. That's just coming out even.
Well, go check the price of a sheet
Go
of
buy
stainless.
Go buy 5 sheets of stainless.
Yeah.
Let's just say it that way.
It ain't cheap.
No.
And then, honestly,
What's it take to put one together? How long? I mean, just roughly.
a few hours. By the time you drill your holes for all your fittings, your fill cap, it just takes some time.
And we'll get some better pictures. He's gonna take some step-by-step pictures so that we can post all that shit up too.
Yep.
That way people know that it's fucking legit.
Oh yeah.
That bracing on the inside of one is a big deal to me.
Yep.
And it's fully welded.
Yeah, because I've seen tanks break, and that's not
Rupture.
that's not good. From the looks of it, like I said, I can't say tested yet, but from the looks of it, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about the structural integrity of the tank.
No, and they are all pressure tested. So
I mean, that's worth.
Yeah.
it's something I'm going to do. Some guys would do this, some guys wouldn't. But if I have a tank out there and something goes haywire with it, say you bend it, I don't know, hobo car, get the ass smashed in, you bend the tank, you bring it to me, you're going to get another one.
There you go, boys. The shit's gonna be out. It's already happening.
Well, look at it on our page. They're cool.
I mean, it kind of looked like you might have took a picture with like a fucking typewriter.
Yeah, it was a walkie-talkie.
But
And I do have another trick up my sleeve that probably come out around November. So stay tuned.
around November,
Fisher built.
Fisher built. That's cool. That's cool. Because there's some other local guys that we've talked to Corey a couple times.
Oh yeah.
We've had this shit ass with us a
Yep.
couple times. There is another guy over in Hannibal that we need to get lined up and sit down and talk about his products.
Yep.
Because we always support, NLR and Narrett and
Yeah, but we got to support our
Cannonball and
local.
whoever. But you got to support the local guys. So
Justin builds a hell of a part, really. No matter what it is, he builds it.
He can
It's
build it.
pretty top notch.
yep.
Well, what I like about Justin is if you have an issue with anything that you've got from him, he gonna make it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the way it needs to be.
Well, it's not like a big box store, where it's like, hey, fuck you,
Yeah. I'll buy another one.
Yeah.
That one will be right. Well, your first motherfucker wasn't right. I know your second one.
Well, and that's why I will buy another one, and if it's right, I'll put the other one back in that box and send it back to him.
some of that Walmart shit there.
Oh yeah.
But man, we've got
Fucking huge shit coming.
we got Boone County
yes.
Lucky Sevens. That is this Saturday.
2-man. Gut and
Hobo.
go.
2-man gut and go. 20 teams, one and done on the track at once.
Yep.
I think plus their street stock, plus their mod compacts as well.
And
I
hobos,
believe.
I think.
That's what
Stock or
what
whatever.
the ad said. Yeah, stock. I'm gonna be in Nebraska, but next weekend we're gonna be all up in Bowling Green, Mo with CDDA.
Yes. And
For
we're not going to jump into that real hard,
10 G's.
Because I'm going to try to get somebody on here
10
to talk
G's,
to us about that.
2-man bone stock show, such as the same rules I believe that he ran at King of the Ring.
I believe so.
And there's a lot of local guys signed up for that as well. So, but we will be there. Hopefully, have a little merchandise on hand. We will be going live as long as the cell phone service is good there. It's been a minute since I've been to Bowling Green, so I don't know how good the cell phone service is. But Mr. Deano, thank you for coming and hanging.
I got something else I want to throw out there.
Oh shit!
Youth drivers, if these guys are up to it, want to get about, I don't care how many of you there is, but youth drivers, send them your information and why you think you should get a tank, and I'll donate one. We're going to pick one winner and give you, say, 2 months. Get some people in, and we'll do a draw or pick someone somehow. Someone will get a tank.
So what we'll do is we will get we'll get a Facebook link onto our Facebook where they can just go directly to you.
Yep.
And hit the randomizer, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out when the time comes.
Let's we will start that. Let's get the ad run. Talk about it for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever. We'll fire something up because we want to give as many youth drivers the opportunity to get in on that.
Yep, absolutely.
As we can. And I know a lot of these posts, and I'm not hating on nobody right here. Whenever I say this, I know a lot of these giveaways to these youth drivers, they're always like, well, if the kid can't afford or, isn't in the situation, I would like to make this one where I don't give a fuck if your dad bought you a $14,000 setup.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve the opportunity to win something just as much as, the less for. And I understand why they're doing it, where it's coming from, but they need something too. I mean, they're still working their asses off in the shop, and they're still a fucking youth driver that's going out there and putting on a show.
That's right.
It's the future of the sport.
You're fucking A right, it is.
Maybe there'll be 2 winners.
Oh, and plane tickets are high as fuck, so if anybody'd like to donate toward that.
That they are. So, like I said, dude, thanks for coming in, hanging out. Fisher built tanks. Start paying attention, guys. Start paying attention.
And don't forget about the homies out in Utah. Still got that code.
Chunk and Justin, Hard Nose 24, baby. 10% discounts. Chunk's still rolling off stupid fucking sales right now.
Oh, dude. Fuck, he's vending at Heber.
Yeah.
License plates, shirts.
Yep.
Hard Nose merch.
So all those guys from Utah that wants our stuff, he's going to have it right there so you don't have to worry about shipping.
Hell, you can even get a Mopar laid up on your back.
Yes.
Hashtag filthy, son.
Yep, because the weekend we're going to be at Bowling Green, there will be Heber, Utah.
Yeah, we're going to watch that shit.
Yes, I'll watch it Sunday. I'll watch both of them on Sunday.
I'll watch it hungover as fuck. I don't care.
Any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys.
Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with 0 limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's.